Yes, let it ramble!
Alright, so Amazon has dropped the first 3 episodes of Reacher Season 4, and after 27 episodes, I'm ready to call it Reacher is a top 100 show of all time. And to illustrate my point, here is Reacher versus what many consider some of the best shows ever. So let's see how Reacher stacks up. We'll go through this really quick. Reacher versus The Sopranos. I think we all agree. Tony Soprano, Carmela, Christopher. I walked in and your hair was touching the toilet water. Disgusting. I think we all agree Sopranos clears Reacher pretty easily. Reacher versus Star Trek, the original series. I will go with Star Trek. Reacher versus Star Trek The Next Generation, I will go with Star Trek. Reacher versus Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I will go with Buffy. Reacher versus Angel, the Vampire with the Soul, I will go with Angel. Reacher versus From, the horror TV show on MGM, I think you can also get it on Amazon or HBO Max, depending on your locale. I will go with From. Reacher versus Stargate, I'll go with Reacher. Reacher versus Heated Rivalry, it's close. Heated Rivalry had an excellent rookie season, but I will, on the strength of 4 solid seasons, some better than others. I will go with Reacher over Heated Rivalry by a hair. Reacher versus Lost, the ending ruined it for me. I will go with Reacher. Reacher versus The Gilded Age. I'll go with Gilded Age. Tremendous show. Reacher versus the cult classic that used to air on Fox, Fringe. Great science fiction show, Fringe. I didn't like the romance between Joshua Jackson and the hot Australian lady, so I will go with Reacher over Fringe. Reacher versus the totally overrated Firefly, I will go with Reacher. Reacher versus It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I think, on the strength of the Suburb episode alone, on the strength of that one episode where they have to commute to the suburbs, the boat, the implication, on the strength of those 2 episodes alone, I think Always Sunny pretty clearly beats out Reacher, unfortunately. Reacher versus The Americans. Great show, great writing, great acting. Kind of a downer. I much more prefer watching Reacher. It's a much more enjoyable watch. Reacher over The Americans. Reacher versus The Diplomat on Netflix. I will go with The Diplomat. New season coming up this October. Very excited to see Kerry Russell reprise her role as The Diplomat. Reacher versus Stranger Things. I will go with Reacher. Reacher versus Pluribus. Pluribus by a hair. Reacher versus Widow's Bay. Widow's Bay by a hair. Reacher versus House of the Dragon. Unpopular opinion, that show is for regards. I don't want to get into it, but I will get into it. Like, when the antagonist is on the throne, everything is rosy, okay? As soon as the protagonist gets on the throne, suddenly you have, like, real-world problems. Suddenly you have debt problems, you have monetary policy, you've got pest control. You have pest control issues when the protagonist becomes queen. None of which arise when the antagonist is on the throne. So that show is totally regarded. I will go with Reacher over House of the Dragon. Reacher versus Game of Thrones. First 4 seasons of Game of Thrones are some of the best TV you will ever see. I will go with Game of Thrones. Reacher versus A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Great show. Reacher versus Squid Game. Squid Game. Reacher versus Loki. I will go with Reacher. Reacher versus Breaking Bad. Again, unpopular opinion, but I hated Skylar. She was a major downer. Skylar, Bryan Cranston's wife. Skylar, Hank's wife. It was a downer. It was a downer. I will take Reacher over Breaking Bad. Now, if they had killed off Bryan Cranston's wife, Hank's wife, and the kid, and Bryan Cranston and Jesse became best friends, and their empire expanded and they lived happily ever after, I would have given it a 10 out of 10. As such, very depressing, kind of a downer. I will go with Reacher over Breaking Bad. Reacher versus Better Call Saul, same thing, depressing crap. I will go with Reacher. Reacher versus Top Chef, I will go with Top Chef. Reacher versus Mad Men. Reacher versus Walking Dead, 2 great seasons followed by God knows how many horrific seasons, each worse than the next. I will go with Reacher over Walking Dead. Reacher versus Interview with the Vampire. I will go with Interview with the Vampire. Reacher versus Mr. Robot. Ending was LGBTQ, bro. Everything up until the ending was like a 10 out of 10 science fiction. But the ending was this like therapy crap. It was LGBTQ as F. So I will go with Reacher over Mr. Robot. Reacher versus Welcome to Derry. It was good. I like Welcome to Derry, but I will go with Reacher. Reacher versus CSI. Another perhaps unpopular opinion, but I feel like if you enjoy CSI or SVU, SVU this, SVU that, I feel like you have early stage dementia and you need an MRI. Okay, because to enjoy those CBS procedurals, your brain is scrambled eggs. Your brain is cooked. Okay, if you enjoy those CBS procedurals, so I will, perhaps an unpopular opinion, I will go with Reacher over CSI, Law and Order, this, SVU that. And yeah, even if you don't agree with every one of my calls, you can see that Reacher stacks up pretty well against what are widely considered the best shows ever. I'm not saying it's a masterpiece. Like the love interest this season, Lila, with all due respect for the actress, is terrible. She's doing adult video level acting. She's doing Riley Reid level acting, and it's not just her. It's the plot. What is the plot? I don't know. There's a senator. There's a cat. There's a are you the father? Are you not? I don't even know the plot. Who cares? It's incredibly entertaining to watch Reacher beat up bad guys, interspersed with funny quips. Funny quips like Sherlock Holmes, Hobocop.